good morning. Welcome to the first edition of the Home Court Design Podcast. I'm the host, Thomas Smith, and this is our pilot episode, the first one. Just a little bit about Home Court Design and really what we do. So Home Court Design is a product design company with product currently developing in the sports industry that's going to help improve athlete performance. So over the next year, we're going to release information, more details about what we're working on up until the product launch, which is scheduled for next summer. So that's a little bit about home court design. But the reason we're doing a podcast is number one, I'm a huge basketball fan. I love basketball. I've been playing since I was in the third grade, and I just kind of grew up loving the game and loving the NBA. So I got a lot of opinions and thoughts about just the things that are going on in the NBA. But also just to kind of generate some excitement about home court design and just kind of the cool things we're doing right now in the sports industry. So that's kind of the reason why we're doing a podcast. So the format of the podcast is going to be, we're going to release an episode every 2 weeks. And when we release the episode, we'll talk about the hottest topics in the NBA, the top 3 hottest topics in the NBA. So right now the NBA is in the summer, so there's not a lot going on. But there's still enough to where we can discuss it. So just kind of with all that, we're going to go ahead and jump right into our first topic. So let's check in. So I grew up a Lakers fan. I love the Lakers. They're my hometown team, and I'll tell you, one of the biggest mistakes the Lakers made in the past previous years was when Kobe was past his prime. We gave Kobe a maximum salary contract. It wasn't a maximum length. I believe it was around 2 to 3 years, but a maximum salary contract which handicapped the Lakers from being able to sign good players. And Kobe was past his prime. He was, I think, around 35, 36 years old when we gave him that massive deal. And that was the biggest mistake we could have made because Kobe was past his prime, he was hurt, and he just was not the same player. Fast forward to now. There's a lot of chatter about LeBron James coming to Los Angeles after next year. A lot of chatter about him leaving Cleveland to come to the Lakers. He's got business interests out here. The family wants to come out to Los Angeles. He wants to finish his career here. That's what I've been hearing. And the real question I want to pose to Lakers fans is, do we want LeBron James in LA? Think about that for a second. Do we want LeBron James in LA? LeBron James is 32 years old, going on 33 years old this year. By the time he is eligible to sign with the Lakers, he'll be 33 going on 34. Think about that for a second. At 33 years old, when we sign LeBron James, that is historically the age range when players start to deteriorate past their prime. LeBron is no longer the same player, even now, that he was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, even 2 years ago. Now, granted, LeBron James is still the best player in the league. Don't get me wrong. He's not, and that isn't going to change next year. But what I'm saying is this time, 2-3 years from now, LeBron James will not be the best player in the NBA. In fact, he may not even crack the top 5. So the question is, if LeBron comes to LA, how does that look? What does it look like? And here's what I have to say. I believe we want to sign LeBron James, but under the right circumstances. You cannot sign LeBron James to a maximum length contract, or I would even say a maximum salaried contract. Because LeBron James is not going to be worth it at that point in his career. He is not the same player he was 5 years ago. And the Lakers need to make sure they do not make the same mistake twice that they made with Kobe with LeBron. So that's really what we got to think about when we want to sign LeBron James. Now, should we want to sign him? Absolutely. LeBron James would be a huge addition to the Lakers. Number one, he's a big name, and we haven't had a big name since Kobe left. So that's a huge plus for the Lakers to sign LeBron James. And furthermore, people want to play with LeBron James. He's an unselfish player, and historically, players have loved playing with LeBron. Obviously they've got the whole Kyrie issue going on right now, and who knows what other chemistry issues are going on there. Nobody's perfect, but historically it's been shown that LeBron James is a player that guys want to play with, want to come to play with. So that's my take on LeBron James coming to LA. So the next thing I want to jump into is, if I told you that a father had 3 boys, and this father went above and beyond what anybody would think a father would do to raise his 3 boys, and supported them and promoted them and was unapologetic about it, but his boys loved him and he loved his boys, and his boys were succeeding, you would probably think that's a good father, right? Well, I bet you didn't think I was talking about Lavar Ball. I'm sure you did. Lavar Ball has been in the news a lot about his crazy antics, crazy things he says, and I have to say, I think Lavar Ball gets a bad rap. Lavar Ball does say some crazy things, and there are some things that he says that I don't agree with personally. But the one thing that I have noticed about Lavar Ball is that he is unapologetic about how much he loves his kids. And you know what? His kids love him. I've seen all 3 of his boys be supportive of their dad when they've been asked questions about what he's doing. It doesn't make him uncomfortable. Is it going to hurt them in the future? Does it put a target on their back? And his boys all support him, and he supports his kids. So the thought that Lavar Ball is somehow hurting his kids' futures by the things that he says is, to me, I think, if anything, it is generating publicity around his kids, which he helps them promote their brand, Big Baller brand, going forward. And you have to think about things this way too. Lavar Ball is trying to push a company. He's trying to push Big Baller brand to get some notoriety in the industry. So if people are unfamiliar, Lonzo Ball, his oldest son, just signed with the Lakers. He hasn't signed a shoe deal with any of the big companies, the 3, Adidas, Nike, and Under Armour. He hasn't signed a shoe deal with any of them. He's trying to promote his own shoe, the Big Baller brand shoe. So getting the name out there about Big Baller brand, you need to generate publicity. And obviously Lonzo can do that by balling out. And he did. In Summer League, he was great, and everybody loved the way he plays. But to jumpstart that, Lavar Ball says all these crazy things, in my opinion, to generate publicity. Sure, it might be bad publicity. It may not always be good publicity. But guess what? In my opinion, bad publicity sometimes is better than no publicity at all. And if the things that Lavar Ball says are just crazy and people don't agree with when he says, hey, I can beat Michael Jordan with one arm tied behind my back, or my boy Lonzo Ball is already better than the, at the time, reigning league MVP Steph Curry, you know what, I'm okay with that. Granted, I will say this, Lavar Ball has seemed to show I don't want to say prejudice against women, but there's definitely something there. Recently, he had a woman ref thrown out of an AAU game, replaced with a male ref. And then also Lavar Ball went on the Herd, and with the female co-host there to Colin Cowherd, didn't really seem to recognize her and just kind of dismissed her. So there seems to be something there that we should all keep an eye on with Lavar Ball. But by and large, he's been a great father and a great spokesman. And there may even be a hint of genius to what Lavar Ball has done. So that's my take on Lavar Ball. If you disagree, please comment below. I really want to hear what you guys have to say. My final take here. Chemistry can be a huge issue with a team. Speaking from experience with just people that I've worked with, people I've gone to school with, people that I've been on a team with, when you have bad chemistry, the team typically fails. And it only takes one person for that to falter what would be a great run in anything, in any industry. You have to be very selective about the people that you work with because you need to develop the right culture. So who am I talking about? I'm talking about Kyrie Irving. So there's been a lot of chatter, obviously, about Kyrie, who's demanded a trade request from the Cleveland Cavaliers. So the question becomes, do the Cavaliers trade Kyrie Irving? And here's what I have to say about that. I believe the Cleveland Cavaliers should trade Kyrie Irving because of the reasons I mentioned about chemistry, about people having one bad player on a team with bad chemistry with the other guys can really affect the team going forward, especially a team that's trying to win a championship. But you have to think about it this way too. Kyrie has got 2 years left on his deal. So do you trade a guy with 2 years left on his deal? I would say yes if you get the right offer. If you don't get the right offer, then management's going to have to work extra hard to try to smooth over those differences that Kyrie has with LeBron James and others. You know, we don't know who the others are. But if they get the right offer, they should absolutely pull the trigger on it. And you have to look at it this way too for Kyrie, at least. Kyrie is a stud. He's an all-star point guard, all-star scorer, and he's trying to test the waters about his greatness. He's trying to see how great can I really be. And I would say that that's great because you need to be able to test the waters and see how great you are. And you can't do that when you're living and playing under the shadow of LeBron James because you're never going to really get all the shine. So I really applaud Kyrie for that. So the question becomes, what is the right offer? What is the right offer for Kyrie Irving? Well, Kyrie has kind of taken away any leverage he had about a trade because he did just recently come out and say that he's not going to go ahead and sign with any other team long term. He's not going to commit to any team long term. So that does limit his options as far as a return to Cleveland. And since Kyrie doesn't have a no trade clause like LeBron and like Carmelo Anthony, he can't veto trades. So he can get traded anywhere he wants. So really Kyrie has no leverage in this situation. But what I would say would be the best offer for Kyrie Irving, I would say would have to come from the Phoenix Suns. And this is what I think the Phoenix Suns should do. The Phoenix Suns should offer point guard Eric Bledsoe, and they should offer Josh Jackson their lottery pick from this year. And that's it. They should not offer anything else. They should not offer draft picks because Kyrie's not willing. If Kyrie was willing to commit long term, I would say that Suns should offer a 2018 or 2019 draft pick, first round draft pick. But since Kyrie isn't willing to commit, the Suns should not offer that. They should only offer Josh Jackson and Eric Bledsoe because Cleveland has come out and said they want a veteran starter. They want a rookie, a blue chip rookie player on a rookie deal, and they want a first round draft pick. So I would say that's the best offer they can get. I don't think New York can offer anything because Carmelo has come out and said he doesn't want to play in Cleveland, and Porzingis they're not offering in any trade. And then as far as Minnesota goes, Jeff Teague they can't trade because they just signed him, and he's not eligible to be traded until December. And they're not trading Andrew Wiggins from everything that I've been hearing, which I don't blame them. Andrew Wiggins is a young player still developing, and to be honest, I would say he's a more versatile player than Kyrie Irving at the moment. So I wouldn't trade Wiggins either. So I think the best offer they can get at the moment is Phoenix. My personal take, I don't think Kyrie Irving gets traded. I think he stays in Cleveland for the year, and then they'll re-explore trade talks after the season's over. So that's my take about the Kyrie Irving trade talk that's been going on. So that does it for me. I hope you guys have enjoyed this first episode of the Home Court Design Podcast. Please like and share us. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, and we're on Facebook. Comment below if you've got anything that you disagree with me on or you want me to talk about next time. In the next episodes, I'll go on to a question and answer if anybody leaves any questions in the comment section or they have anything else they want me to talk about. I'll go ahead and talk about that too. So I appreciate you guys for joining, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. All right, signing out.